Well, hello, and welcome back to Fili Daily Vlogs. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2020, and we are in our fifth week, I believe, of
Yep,
social
week
distancing.
number
Yeah.
5.
Yep. Yeah, which kind of
Good
is
long
remarkable.
time.
I cannot believe how quickly that has gone, but also how long it
Mhm.
seems
Yes.
things have,
It
like,
feels like
I
this is
don't,
the new normal. Like we've been
yeah, I'm
at
starting to
home
forget what
for
normal
forever.
was like. Yeah.
Like this is just
Ugh.
existence now. It doesn't feel like it's
Yeah.
been a long time. It feels like it's only been a little while because it's
Hmm.
normal now.
Does this feel better or worse than
Exactly.
when you were on maternity leave? As far as like,
Um, it's a little worse, I feel like, but that's because Barnabas wasn't he's not home with me the whole time. He was before.
okay.
When
Yeah.
we had maternity leave, it was both of us. We both took off. So
Yeah.
I had more company.
And this doesn't have a real end date. Like,
No, right.
I mean, I know your maternity leave didn't either, but I know
Right.
it was kind of in your power to some degree.
Right. Yeah,
when
it
you
was
wanted to
definitely,
come
it was my
back,
choice.
so-
I was just like, you know what? I'm going back. But now it's
Yeah.
up to the powers that be.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Well, overnight we surpassed 2 million cases worldwide,
Oh, goody.
and
Oh,
131,000 deaths. The new case growth rate is going down on the world. It's no longer flat. It's
Good.
trending downwards. For the U.S., I'd say that's true as well. We have 636,916
That's good.
cases, and about 28,600 deaths
Wow.
in the United States.
So
And,
if as long as we are not replacing people, because the current cases number will go down the more people who die from it. And I know that sounds morbid, but if we have 6,000 people die a day and our number stays about the same, that means we're infecting about 6,000 people that day too. So
That is unthinkable.
there has to be,
Yeah.
right, there has to be like a drastic drop before there's we are less infection.
Yeah, and we're to the point now where everyone's trying to decide, what the next step is.
Right.
After we've succeeded in flattening the curve, it seems, and so, what do we do next? And
Shelter in place until it goes away.
it seems like likely where we need to get to is a joint effort to test as many people as possible repeatedly. And then identify different hot pockets and isolate those people.
I know.
on an ongoing-
I just about said the
I couldn't
exact same
resist
thing.
it. I'm sorry.
He said,
This coronavirus 19 pandemic
He
is
said
brought
that,
to you
and I
by
was just like,
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets. That sounds really good right now. I have one in my freezer.
Man, I haven't had Hot Pockets in
Hot
forever.
COVID-19 branded Hot Pockets.
COVID Pockets.
Oh no.
COVID Pockets.
Oh no.
Now I have to go
Yeah, I
listen to
was
Jim
gonna
Gaffigan.
Oh man, I love Jim Gaffigan so much.
Oh, it's 9 a.m.
Yeah, it's an hour before
Oh.
my meeting. Sorry about
That's
that.
fine.
Oh, yeah. So anyway,
Hot Pockets. We're
Hot
reducing
Pockets,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
That was the train
exactly.
of thought. Yep.
I got an idea.
In Kansas.
How about a pastry filled with nasty meat? You could cook it in a sleeve thing, and you could dunk it in the toilet. Oh, I love it so much.
We're starting to see more cases in rural parts of the state. North central Kansas,
That's scary.
counties like Rooks, Phillips, Smith,
Right.
Osborne, Mitchell, Jewell, Ellis.
Because that's the scary thing. Because if the rural places are getting it, they're the ones who have the most social distance. Like not even by choice, and like
Just by
right
by nature.
And
yeah,
now if
you're right.
they're getting it, that's pretty scary.
Also, southwestern Kansas, Finney, Kearney, Hamilton,
Wow.
Stanton, Morton,
Wow.
Stevens, and Seward counties. Those are all in the bottom left-hand side of the state.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
So, yep. There's still surprisingly a pretty good pocket of nothing in northwestern Kansas, which, given
Mm-hmm.
given its proximity to the interstate and to Colorado,
Yeah.
I would have expected
Something.
Yeah.
a little bit more there. So
Right.
I'm happy for Colby and Goodland and
I
surrounding
think it's
areas.
probably because Colorado got so bad so fast, and they kind of locked everything down, and people actually kind of took it seriously because it did get so bad so fast,
Right.
and that people
Yeah.
just stopped traveling. So
You're right. You're right. Something that I couldn't believe. A friend of a family member in Colby, I believe, fell and broke, I believe it was her hip,
Wow.
a week or two ago. And instead of treating her there in COVID-free Colby, they transported her here to Salina Regional, which I just thought was a surprising
That's crazy.
thing.
Did she have to have
maybe there was a
surgery?
complication. I believe so, but it sounded like it was something that was done at Colby fairly frequently. So,
It was very
I'd
strange
be
to
lying
not
if I
do it there. I mean,
right.
yeah, and I don't know the specifics of the situation. They're probably warranted, but it just
Wow.
it
Yeah.
just struck our family as odd that would be a decision that
Oh,
was
Well,
made.
definitely.
So-
at least they had faith that she would be safe here, which makes me feel a little bit better about the whole situation. But
Yeah, there's definitely that. That's true, without a doubt. So anyway, I think that's kind of the pandemic update for the day. I haven't kept real close track of the news, but it doesn't really seem like much has happened in the last 24 hours. That
yeah,
wasn't.
the Kansas governor extended our stay-at-home order till May
That's
3rd.
right.
Yep.
That's right.
So that's something that's
which is
happened.
probably good. But
Yeah.
Today, Trump will meet online with the 50 governors of each state, and they will make some. He's going to try to impose his will, and they're going to.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to go with it, and some of them aren't. And we kind of already know how
Yeah,
this is
more or
going
less.
to end up. But
Yeah.
well, like there's already several states that have begun a pact together to stay
Yeah.
vigilant on this and not
Right.
open
Right.
things back up until things calm down, which is good that they're doing that.
6 states in the Northeast and
Right.
3
Yeah.
or 4
It
states
just
in the
blows
West.
my mind that he thinks he has control over that and he can force people to open the states back up again, because that's up to the governor of that state, not him.
Yeah.
There's a strict separation between the federal and state governments for a pretty good reason. This is probably one of them.
Well, I mean, for lack of a better way to say it, he understands nothing about how this stuff works and any of that stuff. So
Yeah, no, that's so. Really quick here, let me see if I can find it.
was that your
There
hot
was
pocket that was done?
No, Barnabas is up cooking meals for the rest of this week.
Ah,
Yep, making lunches. He's making chicken Alfredo, chicken bacon, broccoli Alfredo.
what? That sounds
My bad.
awesome.
Oh, my.
Super jealous.
Yeah. The bacon
So,
smelled so good this
I
morning.
believe
Oh
you.
man.
Oh, I bet. When I think of Republicans that are pretty much the exact opposite of Donald Trump, probably the one that jumps into my mind the quickest, and hopefully most people's mind, would be Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I saw this quote on Facebook that I think perfectly describes his style of leadership and contrasts it with Trump's.
Okay.
And here it is. Leadership consists of nothing but taking responsibility for everything that goes wrong and giving your subordinates credit for everything that goes well.
Yes. Yep. I feel like we need to plaster that all over Facebook and be like,
Yeah.
I wonder what happened.
It's
It's just night and day.
yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, and I really think that's the truth. Is a good leader takes credit only when it's bad.
Right.
only
Right.
allows that blame to be placed on them, and then gives credit to subordinate. I think that's just that's great. So anyway, do either of you have a question?
So
for
I've
me?
got a
I
couple
have
of
one
different
here,
questions.
but
So
okay, let's.
I don't know if it came in for you guys, but my stimulus check came in either yesterday or the day
Yeah.
before, and I doing my best to not, spend that unwisely, but I can
Correct.
still fantasize about certain things, and I have noticed through like stuff that I've like recently added to my like as of yesterday after like knowing that it was there, adding stuff to my list of things that I would desire to have is all like adult stuff, meaning like kitchen stuff specifically.
Right.
Like
Right.
I like the two things I've been wanting like recently is I would like like a charcoal grill
Ooh.
because
Yeah.
I don't have a grill at all, and um, I was looking online and you can actually like you can buy a charcoal grill online and like all the supplies,
Nice.
which
Mm-hmm.
I would
Yep.
be more tempted.
And then you could have it shipped right to your door.
I'm very tempted to do it, mostly because like I could probably
Great.
get.
So like you can ship lighter fluid in the
I
mail.
guess like
Yeah, probably.
that was one of the things I
Wow.
was wondering about, and that's one of the things that I could put on my list like on Amazon.
Huh.
So like
Wow.
I could.
I mean, if anything, you might be able to get like Dylan's to deliver it.
Yeah, they probably could. Well, I thought about like I'd almost rather go to Waters and support them and try and see if they have
That's
a grill.
true.
The problem is actually going there,
That's true.
and I don't really want to go out. I'd
Yeah,
rather
I get
just
you.
Yeah.
have it shipped. So like
Yep.
like
I will say I've been to Waters. It was 2 or 3 weeks ago now, but they were doing a pretty good job of. They have signs everywhere keeping everybody separate, and they have a plexiglass shield in front of the cash registers.
Nice.
So I mean they're doing about as good as
Yep.
anywhere as in
Did I
terms of
did I
taking
send you guys
measures.
pictures of the post office? Like when you went to the post office, did they have like all of the plastic hanging up like they
Yeah.
did? That's just crazy. They have like the entire post office like saran wrapped.
I didn't see The Office, but that's I remember you
It's
talking about
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
It was wild, and like they have stuff like stacked up in front of the counter, so you can't get like to the counter. You have to like sit stuff on like a rendezvous point, and then like back away
Yep.
before they'll even approach it to grab it.
Oh wow,
Like, it's
Yeah.
it's pretty intense.
I bet. But yeah, that's like like that like the grilling stuff, and then like a classic like round waffle maker.
Ah, yep,
Like
yep.
I technically have one somewhere, but it's one of like the square ones, and I just
Oh yeah.
there's just something about like the round ones that I prefer.
Square waffles are not as
They're
good as
not
round
for whatever
waffles.
reason. So like I was looking on Amazon as well last night and looked at a couple different ones, and I have no idea what brand is the best when it comes to that as far as like cost goes. But
I have a waffle maker, but I don't have a grill, and I think we're probably gonna wait until we get our deck built before I go grill shopping.
Nice.
I was gonna say for me, like I look at this place as probably being temporary, but for the moment, like I have a porch, so
Right. Might as well use
yeah,
it.
exactly. Like it has no other purpose right now. So I'm thinking like the fact that I can actually get it delivered, I might as well.
That is pretty handy.
Yeah, mostly just because I tend not to fry anything for the sake of like being healthier and
Greasy and
yeah,
fatty. Yeah.
like and with that, like there's some stuff like one of the other things I bought, which is another KitchenAid thing, was like an actual skillet with like the glass lid,
Oh yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can actually
Like an
cook
electric
things and
skillet?
like keep the yeah
Yeah.
So you-
Like steam stuff.
yeah. I mean, I have like a steamer and I've got like the rice cooker, but there's some things like if I wanted to pan sear a steak, a lot of the times they, from what I've seen, they want you to kind of cover it so that you can trap that heat and it'll cook more thoroughly.
Right.
And I've just had like just a frying pan that has just not as good. So like
I think
Yeah.
I think my money is going to either one pay off the truck, or we're going to kind of nest egg it and hold on to it because we've got a pretty decent savings like saved up, and it will either be to pay off the cars so we can trade them in and trade up, or it will be to build ourselves a deck probably in the summer. Like if we save enough money, get all that stuff done all at once instead of trying to divide up the projects.
yeah, I mean, for me like I don't know if I'm actually going to end up doing either of those things. Like I said, I'm
Right.
trying my best to work on building up a savings, and
Yeah.
I'm getting there, but I'm like it's just nice to fantasize about certain things, and like the fact like interesting as an adult, like the things that I'm wanting the most right now are kitchen things and cooking things,
Right.
and not like
When we first moved in here, it was the exact same way. When we went to Kansas City, that trip, like right after I started working with you guys, we went to a kitchen store and spent hundreds of dollars on kitchen stuff, like new stainless steel pans and utensils
Yep.
and
We
all
just
the
upgraded
stuff.
our pans when we moved, and yeah, man, it makes a big difference to have like stainless steel
Yeah.
as opposed to, we had the non-stick ones, but they were like 4 or 5 years old, and so the non-stick coatings were
flaking
coming off into our food,
Yep.
and
Yep.
we got concerned about
Teflon poisoning.
chemicals and
Woo!
stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah, no fun.
like, yep, time to get some
We
new
got
stuff.
we got real like straight up steel pans. Like that's it. Like, there's
Nice.
nothing.
Nice.
Yep. Pretty great.
Well, let's see. I have a question.
Okay.
And I don't know that I have an answer for this, but I'm curious to hear yours.
All right.
What was a past passion that you had that you can't believe that you were so passionate about?
Wow.
And maybe we don't. Maybe this isn't a good question. I thought it was an interesting question.
I don't know. Like as a, I don't know. I guess that's probably like a little kid thing. But like as a little kid, I was like incredibly into like giving gifts to people. Like I would give my things away just to like give them to people
Aw.
to like make
That's so
them happy.
sweet.
Right. So, but like
Aw.
I used to do that all the time. I would give away like everything. Like I don't
The
know.
closest I can think of to that without there is another one, but I'm not gonna say it because I'd rather not. The one I can think of is I used to when I was a kid. I used to really enjoy going to like the senior citizens home and like talking to the senior
Okay.
citizens and like hanging out with them because I've always got along with people who generally are older than myself. Part of that is just my general taste in things tends to be older, and the soul that wrenched itself within my meat suit is old, and so like that's one thing. Like I think once I got to a certain point, I don't know what it was like middle school or high school, I kind of stopped going over there, and I mean I guess I didn't go over there that often, but I think it was mostly like anytime we went to like do church services and stuff over there, I would talk to him
Right.
and
I definitely have another one. When I was younger, I absolutely loved the idea of building robotic prosthetics for people.
that's cool.
And I was like super into science. Like I like aced all of my anatomy classes and everything. I was just like hammering it home. I loved chemistry. I was great at it. Like I loved physics. I was pretty good at it. But then I got into like calculus and my algebra professor and like my calculus professor were just so mean about everything and like they made me hate math. And like I'm really upset about it because like I would have loved to go and do a career like that. Like I loved
Yeah.
building robots. I could make them work. My mind worked that way, but nope, just because I couldn't do calculus.
I'm so similar in that way. Like I loved physics
Yeah.
deeply in high school, and
Yep.
and even the first year of college. I was a physics major the first year and a half of college, and but yeah, a F in Calc 2
Yeah.
meant that business was for me because
Right.
I just could
I
not.
just- Ugh.
I had a bad professor in college
Yep.
who ended up getting fired that semester
Yep.
because I think of our class of 12, I think 11 of us failed.
That's
Something
so
like
crazy.
that.
That's so stupid.
So-
That it's obviously not
Yeah.
the students at that point. It's the person who's
Yeah.
teaching. And like I ran into the same thing, and it just squashed me. Like it ruined all of that for me. Like I was on the right track. I was gonna make it happen, and then boom,
Yeah.
I
got
never
crap done.
Yeah.
I have never been a fan of math in particular. I like science. Like I really enjoyed biology and some of those other ones. I just I managed to get through college algebra. I think like I took a semester's worth of college classes when I was in high school for dual credit, and I honestly don't know how I passed. I think I got like a B, which is not terrible. I
Yeah.
I don't like math. I have never liked math. It's not my thing. Like I prefer things of a more artistic endeavor.
Right.
So
I was much more inclined to like spatial awareness math. So like trig
Yeah.
and like
Definitely.
physics
I never
and stuff
took
like
trig.
that.
100%.
I was great at that stuff. Like everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't remember all of the rules and stuff for trig," and I'm just like vomiting them out, like because I have really good spatial awareness. All right, but
man, I did not like
calculus.
I love geometry
that
too.
one. I kept thinking geology and geography, and I know neither of those were correct. Geo something.
Geomath.
Geomath.
Math about
I
geo
did-
things.
I did great in calculus when it was basically like algebra, but when they added trigonometric functions into calculus, so like you know how like cotangent is 1 over sine or whatever, all of that
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
That makes calculus like a billion times more
A
complicated,
billion.
and I can never understand.
But what
Because
about the
you go
quadratic
from having
formula?
like sine, cosine, and tangent to having inverse, cosine, sine, and tangent,
Yeah.
and then you have cotangent, cosine, and like you
Yeah.
have these. So there's like 12 instead of 3.
We did all of
And-
that in trig. We did all of those in trig. So like all of that stuff I was totally used to by the time I hit calculus, but it was just
But
the algebra.
in
I
calculus,
can't do
you
algebra.
have to. You in like college calculus, like Calc 2, the one that I failed. You basically you have to use those trigonometric functions within the process of integrating or differentiating equations.
Yeah.
And so it makes them way more complex, and you're never actually trying to solve for x. You're the
Right.
end of the question is
It's still like a
probably like
function of
1
some
over
kind.
cotangent
Right.
of x.
Yeah.
It's like
It's sti-
no.
Yep.
Math problems
Yep.
end with a solid number. That's the
Unless
way
it's
it works.
imaginary.
Well, that's acceptable.
No.
That's okay too. But having a formula
No,
just
no.
equal out to being another formula, that's just
That just
that would
reminds me.
just grate me the wrong way.
All this math talk. Do you guys remember? Did you guys ever hear the quadratic formula song?
That sounds.
I feel like
no,
I don't know. Maybe.
I'll send it to you after we're done.
Okay.
Okay.
All I can think of is Adventure Time. Mathematical.
Mathematical. Oh, such a good show.
I love
man.
that show. It's so
I'm
good.
still working my way through it, but
What? I've seen all of it like so
I
many
know.
times.
like I'm behind on my shows. That one and like Bob's Burgers were recommended to me like by my former
Yeah.
roommate many times, and then like
I'm actually binge watching Bob's Burgers right now. It's pretty great.
Yes. Love
Heck yeah.
that show.
It's pretty great.
It is like one of the not single best. It is one of the best shows like as far as music goes.
Yes,
Their
I've noticed
original
that.
music is fantastic.
Hilariously
Love it.
fantastic.
I just like not only that aspect, but I love the characters. I love that like Gene in particular. He is so unique and so open about
Right.
everything that he loves, and everyone just accepts that, and that is fantastic.
I appreciate that, like, the humor isn't like, oh, we're going to be racist
Yeah.
or sexist, and we're not telling poop jokes all the time, and it's not a bunch of low-grade humor. It's like, this is a real world, and there's real world
Yeah.
comedy happening in it.
Yeah, I totally
Yes.
agree. It's a great show.
There's not a character I don't love on that show.
Right.
Even the like really minor
even Jimmy
ones,
Pesto.
I still
Stupid Jimmy Pesto.
Yes.
even Jimmy Pesto, even Teddy, even
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
so
it's a great show.
good characters.
Oh man. Okay, so I've got another question.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's gonna be kind of a weird one in a way. So this came to me the other day, or yesterday, I guess. Is there a part of your daily like hygiene routine, or just your hygiene routine, that you wish you didn't have to do?
All of it.
For me,
Right? I just wish I woke up in the morning and was like completely showered and like teeth brushed and just everything. Just groomed. Just woke up groomed.
that would be nice. I would say
I
like
would
the
love
thing for me that I hate most of all, and it's not a daily occurrence, but it's like an every couple of weeks or something, like trimming my toenails. I hate
Yeah.
doing it because every time like I always like end up putting my I'm apparently broke amber.
That's such a weird thing.
Well, okay, let me explain why. So,
Okay.
when I always put my feet like up onto a chair and I clip it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that I like finish and have to like move my leg and get back into a standing position, I'm so stiff, and it feels like my joints are locking into place as I move, and it's just deeply uncomfortable.
Tim,
I totally
I'll
get that.
I'll give you a hint. If you take a bath and then go and get a pedicure, you don't have to do it at all. You just let somebody else do it for you.
Helpful hints from Amber.
Right.
I have never gotten a pedicure or a manicure. So.
Yeah.
For my bachelor party, we went and got pedicures, and my
They're
best man
actually
Eric.
pretty great.
Yeah, I felt so bad for the little Vietnamese ladies who did all of our pedicures. they they were just commenting to each other the whole time.
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of trying to keep their heads back from their work. Just trying to avoid men's feet. Ugh.
That's kind of
Yeah.
part of my routine that I enjoy because I enjoy doing my nails. So like if I take a bath, like obviously your nails get softer when you take a
Yeah.
bath, so I can trim them and file them down, and then I
Nice.
paint them. So that's one of my favorite parts of.
I
would say my least favorite is probably shaving, just because like for women you just shave your legs
yeah.
and like.
Yeah.
Some women like shave their arms, which is crazy to me, and I would never do that because I already have enough surface area to cover just by shaving my legs. So
I just don't shave.
Yeah,
That's
But-
my secret.
that's just the worst. I hate spending that much time shaving, and then you cut yourself because it's, you get like so much surface area to shave over. It's just awful. Nobody really enjoys
That's why I
shaving.
just don't shave anymore.
I have like really sensitive skin, and so
Yep.
like I have to shave my chest because if I don't, I get like ridiculously itchy and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And but a side effect of that I've been having lately that I finally figured out what was causing it last night. I have like a patch of what's the word? Almost like a blister that doesn't go away.
Oh.
It's like right where my belt buckle
Oh, I
is.
remember you saying
And,
this before.
Yeah, and it's been. I mean, I've had it for 6 months maybe.
Wow.
And
That's not
it's
good.
just been awful. And I had an appointment with the skin doctor, and of course that was the first appointment that fell through thanks to the pandemic.
Oh.
But so I was looking online, and I guess I have an allergy to nickel,
That makes sense.
and
Yep.
some belt buckles have nickel,
Yep.
and so when your skin is brushed up against that all the time,
Yep.
it causes like severe irritation.
So was this like
So
a new
Yep.
belt that you
I
had
am-
just gotten?
I'm going beltless.
Oh, scandalous.
What?
Going beltless to see if that fixes it, huh?
I won't be walking in public anytime soon. We'll just say that much.
You just wear sweats. It's fine.
Just get some.
That's what Hannah said. Yeah.
Just get some like string or thread
Yeah.
and just wrap the metal and like cover it. So.
Oh, you had a different thought than I did.
It's not a bad
My
idea.
thought was just to make a makeshift belt out of string.
get some cord
Yeah.
and like just tie it around your waist a couple
Yeah.
times.
Not bad ideas. We'll see how desperate I get and what
Or
what
if
direction I
if
go.
it goes away, if that's actually what it is, because it may
Yeah,
not.
I
be.
really hope so.
Here's what you do.
Oh,
You
it's been so bad
get one
lately.
get a somewhat shorter bungee cord than like your
Ah.
waist and just hook it.
That'll look really great with dress pants.
It's just teetotaling between homeless and looking fine.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Do we have time for another question,
I think we've
or
got
are we
time for
getting?
one.
I think
more.
so. Do you have one, Amber?
Okay. If you had 1 minute as a Super Bowl ad and you couldn't sell it, what would you
Oh.
advertise in that 1 minute? What would you fill it with?
I had never thought
I
about
hadn't
that.
either. I mean, the first and only thing that really comes to mind for me is a giant advertisement just saying, "Hey, don't be a dick." It would just be me saying that and then staring at them like this. Uncomfortably for the rest of that. And just every once in a while, like turning my head against me like...
Yeah, that'd be a good.
I feel like
that
we
would
need
be
to
an
make this Super Bowl ad. When we come out of quarantine, we're going to make this Super Bowl ad.
Yes.
We're definitely not going to actually air it, but we can have our own. Oh,
We'll mock up 3 Super Bowl ads for 1 minute long.
I like it.
Okay,
I like it.
all right.
There you go.
I dig it.
Yeah, what do you think, Amber? I got to keep thinking.
Oh man. See, it's really hard. Like, I don't know what I would want to advertise. Like, my first thought was like making everyone feel really, really guilty about like all of the homeless animals that exist in the world. But like, we already do that, and that's probably already a Super Bowl commercial or has been at some point.
Listen, all we need to do is just my face, like with the "Don't Be a Dick" one, and just me holding animals going.
Aww. You're right. And then, like, my next idea was, like, well, I get 1 free minute to do whatever I want with it. Maybe I just, like, sit there and tell everyone, like, how awful football is for, like, young kids and how they get, like, concussions and how it's super terrible and how we should probably stop doing that to them.
Well, to be fair, we probably should
Make
stop
all these
that sport
football
in
fans.
general, because it causes so much damage. Like, say what you will about other sports, like boxing is probably one of the worst.
I know.
But at least people know what they're standing up for.
Right? I'll spend 30 seconds talking about how bad football is, and then I'll spend another 30 seconds about how we should pay college athletes like we pay professional athletes, because the college makes a ton of money off of them. The college, like, sends them out there to play these sports balls, and sometimes they even put them on TV, and they use them for advertising, and they use them to, like, get more students to come to that university. So, like, you should probably pay that person for their likeness.
It'd be nice if they,
Like,
paid actors, but that's okay.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
Well, now we know what Tim's going to use his minute for.
Hi, I'm Gus. I'm a sports person. Come to University of this place. No, okay.
For sports ball.
Well, I don't think I have a good answer to this. I would probably, I don't know. One story I think that hasn't been told quite well enough yet is, I don't think city people understand rural people, and I don't think rural people understand city people at all.
That makes sense.
And
Yeah.
and I think that divide is kind of one of the things behind our current political climate.
Okay.
And so I'd maybe use that platform to try to, I mean, I don't know how much you can really do in a minute, but there's more alike than different, and
Right.
and I think people in cities sometimes think there shouldn't be anybody living in rural areas, and that's just not realistic, and they don't really understand our dilemmas out here, just like we don't understand what it's like living in a big
Right,
city.
yeah.
So
That makes sense.
That's my 2 cents worth. But
Huh.
okay, well, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of the Fili Daily Vlog. Like always, we'll be back tomorrow for one more episode this week, and we should be back next week. We've got some projects we're working on, hopefully coming out soon. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe below. And if you'd like to be notified every time we have a new episode, please hit that notification bell. So from all of us here at Fili Creative, thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.